Your boy DEEZY, man. You already know it's not about the setback. It's about the get back. I want to appreciate everyone that's became a member, that subscribed to the channel, and that watches the channel. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, hit that notification bell. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we go live. I appreciate all of y'all that rock with me, and I hope y'all continue to rock with me. What's poppin'? SBGB TV fam. What's cracking? Yeah. Shout out to everybody that rock with SBGB TV. You know, I appreciate all of y'all. What's cracking? Smash that like button as soon as you come in the building. Yeah. And we appreciate y'all. Everybody that rock with SBGB TV, man. Yes, sir. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. What's cracking? What's cracking? What's good? See, I got me and R&B. We back at it again. Y'all know that. Me and R&B back at it again. Per usual. And we grind. You know, we grinding non-stop. Let me see here, y'all. What's cracking late? Hold up. What's cracking late? I'm feeling good, though. I'm feeling good. I got a few things done today. Yeah. I washed clothes, jam meats. I washed dishes. And, you know, I was handling a few important things today. What's popping? What's happening, Ike? What's popping? I had a few important things to handle today. You know, get my life right. Yeah, get my life right, man. But I feel good though. I ain't even gonna lie. I feel real good. You know, make sure y'all smash that like button. Shout out to all y'all. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we focused today though. Focus. I got some things done. And y'all know we gotta come do the show. We here. On the late night show, we gonna talk about some of whack lies, you know. If you haven't already subscribed to SBGB TV Worldwide, make sure you subscribe to SBGB TV Worldwide as well, you know, because we dropping content over there every day too. And that's a fact. Yeah, we dropping content on both channels every day. If Wack is talking, we definitely know he lying all the time. We definitely know if Wack is talking, he lying. Hold up, let me put this in the chat real quick. Let me put this in the chat. You say, man, please guilty, and Killing of Ella Goody will get life. If she don't want you, just let her go. If she don't want you, just let her go. Let me see. Hold up. Let's see what he said. Yeah, if she don't want you, just let her go, man. Dudes be acting like they can't get nothing else. That's it. Straight up. Dudes act like they can't get nothing else. I seen something too with this ex porn star today that decapitated her boyfriend. I said, like, hold up. You can't let your emotions take that much control over you. Hell no. For what? For what? Let that much control be taken over your emotions? Like you can't get nothing else. I said, damn. Hold up. I want to put this in the chat. Yeah, hold up. Yeah, you can't let your emotions get that the best of you. You know what I mean? For real. No cap. Uh, bingo. Pent it. Pent it. Bingo. Pent it. What's popping? All right, let me see here. Let's see here what they say about this one. This dude snapped all the way out. What's popping?
We finally know what happened to missing Lafayette woman Ella Goody. This after suspect Brandon Francisco pled guilty to federal charges. Francisco has also agreed to spend the rest of his life in prison. In return, the government has agreed not to seek the death penalty. I combed through the federal documents recounting Ella's last movements and moments alive with Francisco. We don't have a body. We don't have anything. After 3 years and 9 months, Ella's family have some answers. Brandon Francisco detailing to federal agents what happened on March 9th, 2022. That morning, he was supposed to appear in court in Rapides Parish for an attempted murder charge. He feared his bond would be revoked and he'd be put back in jail. So he fled. The plan, get to St. Joseph, Missouri, where he had friends. Francisco says he'd known Ella Goody, a former Uber and Lyft driver, because she drove him before. Francisco asked Goody to drive him there, but she said no because she had to be back home with her 2 children. They agreed on Houston, Texas. Francisco met Goody in Lafayette in her black Audi in the very early morning. Francisco and Goody check into a Houston hotel around 6:28 a.m. They check out a few hours later at 9:30 a.m. The two then head back towards Louisiana. Goody stops in Lake Charles to meet a friend. Goody's vehicle later flagged by Scott police in their investigation.
We know it's her vehicle. Due to the tinted windows, it's undetermined if she was driving or if anyone was with her at that time on March the 9th.
We know now that Goody was with Francisco. After the stop in Lake Charles, Goody and Francisco take off again on I-10. Near Iowa, Goody and Francisco's cell phone activity stops for 51 minutes. It's this area that investigators later search.
This area right here is about a 50 square mile area, and within that area, there are specific areas they are targeting to try to locate evidence.
Francisco now telling federal investigators he took Goody's vehicle through force. He took the firearm she kept in her vehicle for protection, shot her several times, disposed of her body, and fled in her car. After killing Ella, Francisco spent the night in Bedford, Texas. The next morning, he arrives at a friend's home in Missouri. 15 days later, he's arrested. Francisco has Goody's firearm and key fob. He also admits to giving a false statement, blaming another man for killing Ella Goody. 6 days later, Goody's vehicle is found in Missouri, hidden at a home. The front passenger floorboard covered in blood. 2 bullet holes pierced the vehicle.
I mean, a vehicle is just an object, just a thing, but we'd rather find a person wherever she's at.
3 months after Goody disappeared, investigators say this.
They are transitioning this actual missing person case to a homicide investigation.
Francisco initially pled not guilty to the federal charge against him of committing a carjacking resulting in death. But just recently, on October 29th, 2025, Francisco changed that plea to guilty. He agreed to spend the rest of his life in prison. The federal court documents, however, make no mention of Goody's body. Goody's cousin, Jessica.
Every day lived with this, and we continue to so we can get Lala back where we want her.
The U.S. Attorney General and a federal judge must now accept Francisco's plea. His sentencing is set for January 27th, 2026. It's important to note Francisco was facing charges in Rapides Parish before Ella Goody's death for attempted murder. Francisco will no longer face those state charges or spend the rest of his days in Angola. He'll be remanded to a federal prison if his plea is accepted.
Hey, yo. I couldn't be a Lyft or Uber driver or none of that shit, running around with people in the back you don't know. She done took this man somewhere, and I think they said that she knew him from somewhere. He knocked her off for nothing. Damn. He was on a run for attempted murder, turned it into a homicide. Yeah. I understand why when I was younger, they always said, man, watch who you let in your car. You can't let everybody in your car, man. You don't know what the hell they gonna do. You can't trust nobody. It's crazy. Yeah. She out there trying to create a hustle, a grind. And this nigga was just straight weird. Straight weird. Yeah. Straight weird. Took a plea to life. Took a plea to life in jail. Wow. Straight weirdo, boy. Straight weirdo. Straight weirdo. Let me see here. Hold on. You know they say the guy, David the singer, he's the number one suspect in the situation that the young girl was found inside of his car in the trunk. Now they saying that the body was so messed up, it's gonna be hard to determine the cause of death. And it was frozen. They said it was frozen as well. Yeah. Check TMZ, what they said out.
In the Celeste Rivas death. TMZ has learned that her body had been frozen, and when it was found, it was still partially frozen in the back of David's car, and it was in such bad condition that we are told the medical examiner may never be able to establish the cause of death. So here's what we know. When the body was found, it was in terrible condition. It had been decapitated, the torso was intact, the limbs had been removed, and they were cut up severely. The body was partially frozen in the trunk, and this is really important because remember, the body had been sitting there for days before it was finally impounded and then the body discovered. And it was still, the body parts were still partially frozen. So we are told that when the body first went to the medical examiner's office in early September, it was listed as an apparent homicide, but that was just from what seemed obvious, that the body was cut up into pieces. The medical examiner is having a really tough time right now trying to figure out what the cause of death was. We are told it is likely the cause of death will go undetermined because of the condition of the body and the fact that it was frozen and the fact that it was cut up the way it was. So we have told you that we know David is a suspect, and even if it is undetermined, the LAPD can still move forward as could the LA County District Attorney. The LAPD is viewing this as a homicide. David is a suspect. We know this. And one of the keys to the case is a trip that authorities say David made in the middle of the night back in this spring to a remote area of Santa Barbara County. We are now also told that there is a second suspect, and our information is that the second suspect has something to do with the cutting up of the body. Now, Mark Garagos, who is my co-host on the Two Angry Men podcast, told us in the most recent podcast that his information is that this second suspect is being looked at not just for dismembering the body, but also for what happened before, during, and after Celeste's death. So there is a second suspect that the LAPD has its sights on. They have identified the person. Garriga says he knows who it is, not saying, but it is a second suspect implicated here. So obviously the question, how on earth did this body go from Santa Barbara, if that's indeed where it was taken, and that seems to be the operating theory of the LAPD, that if it was taken to Santa Barbara, how did it end up back in Los Angeles in the trunk of David's car in a residential neighborhood? The only thing that makes sense, and that's months and months later, the only thing that makes sense is that based on connecting the dots, it would seem that this body was put in a freezer for an extended period of time, and it was so frozen that by the time it got in the car, it took a long, long time for it to unfreeze, and it had not fully unfrozen at the time the body was discovered at the impound lot. So again, it looks like there may never be a cause of death determined by the medical examiner. The body was frozen. Just keep looking at TMZ. We will have more updates as the days pass.
Wow. I'm wondering, did they catch the body right after they put it in the trunk? Because if they saying the body was still frozen, how long is it supposed to sit in the trunk frozen before it thaw all the way out? Yeah, that's major. Yeah, that's major. Yeah, that's major. Yeah. Yeah, that's major. Ja Rule spoke out and said Max B ain't had nothing to do with it. You know, you hear it from the horse's mouth. He said Max B ain't had nothing to do with it. He wasn't in on nothing, you know. And like I said, people trying to send Max B to jail, boy. You know, putting that man's name in there as if he did something. You know, that's the stuff they do for clicks, though. They'll put anybody's name in anything for the clicks. You know, instead of being real, they saying if I say Max B right now while he hot, they gonna click it. Dirty. You know, dirty. But listen to Ja Rule, though. Rule said, Max B ain't had nothing to do with it, man.
First things first, leave Max B
out of this, man. That man just came home, man. Why y'all I thought y'all was fans of Max B. Y'all trying to get knocked up. Every 5 minutes, so Max B did this, Max B did that. You know that the people be watching these little platforms. You know they be paying attention. So stop putting that on Max B jacket. That's the first thing you want to do. Don't do that to Max. Big shout to the wave. Start walking to the stage. Niggas sneak me. Snuck and punched me from behind. 3 bitches tried to sneak me. Three punk ass bitch ass. And I'm just saying, it happens. It can happen to anybody. You know, shit happens to players too. Them shit happens to too. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you don't get no points for that. No real points for that. Tried it, you know, but whatever. We here. We, you know, it's whatever. So anyway, at that point, we scuffling. I see Artie diving across the shit, grabbing. He's tussling with it. I'm tussling with it. As I'm moving, you know, back and shit, I stumble over some shit. Back Joe is there. Rich is there. This is a melee. These niggas is grabbing me back, holding me back, and making sure, you know, shit is all right, trying to get between everybody that's going on. Security's coming. It's a melee. So anyway, shit just kind of disperses and people disperse. I'm hot, of course, because this shit just went down. So I'm screaming and yelling, calling because you know how shit goes. So we eventually get to moving out of the building and get to the downstairs area, like the players area where they park and shit, and we leave out the building. Done deal. Nothing more to say. Right? But here's the crazy shit that I want to address since I'm here on this platform. I want to address this. I want to address how hip-hop concerts and white concerts and country concerts, rock concerts and pop concerts are policed or secured. Like, if I was Bruce Springsteen at the concert and get attacked in the back, you think the assailants could make it out of the building without getting arrested or something happening? See, this is how they do black. Business as usual. Nothing happened, nothing to see here. These animals. Crazy shit. But you know, I digress. I drank my coffee to this.
Now, that is true though. The hip hop concerts, you can jump on somebody and slide out the back. Go to one of those country or rock concerts and jump on somebody. They're going to be able to find out exactly who did it. They're going to lock somebody up. Definitely. Yeah. But at the hip hop concerts, it always seemed to go down like that. And, you know, especially if it's a celebrity, though. You would think that if something happened backstage, they would know exactly who did it. I guess they like that kind of shit that go on. It's entertaining. Hey, let them go ahead and go at each other. So what? It's entertaining. You know? They don't want to address it. Not at all. You know? They don't want to address it at all. Yeah, Mike Jones. I don't know if y'all remember Mike Jones, but Mike Jones was definitely hot at one point, was everywhere, and it looked like the industry blackballed him because you don't hear nothing from Mike Jones, but he's still doing shows or whatever, but you don't hear nothing from him. Like, if you're not a fan and you ain't paying attention to him closely. So, this how it go in the game, man. Yeah, it's how it go in the game. And I think honestly, it is better to be independent now. Yeah, because they hype you up, they front you some money, and then when they done with you, you in debt. Crazy. Select few don't experience that, but most of the people that want to get in the rap game, they get hyped up, they put you on the front stage, and then when they done with you, you in the hole, you in debt, and they want that money. You know, they stop talking about you. All that. It's a dirty game. You know, it's a dirty game. So listen to what Slim Thug had to say. Yeah.
Before you got him.
Mike Jones went to my high school, like, and I was already booming in high school. So he would have these little fake phones and shit, little burner phones. He would try to give us burner phones and shit to come rap and all kind of shit, you know, to be our friend. Uh, yeah, Mike Jones, man, I got nothing but respect for his hustle. Like I seen that. I seen him try to give burner phones to get in the studio, to go and perform at schools for free, to going to our shows and opening up for us for free. And so I got a lot of respect for his hustle. You know what I'm saying? I seen the whole come up. So I seen, you know, him do things I ain't never seen nobody else do as far as marketing and putting himself on. So I got respect for the hustle.
You in contact with him? Y'all cool?
Yeah, Mike Jones. Everybody, bro. I'm cool with everybody. Like I ain't never fell out with nobody. We always been cool. Like, yeah, I talk to whoever.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Jones, man. He had some dope ass records, man. I feel like they did him dirty when he was at his height.
They did, hey man, cool. That's another thing. Mike Jones taught me so much, like without teaching me, right? So it's like I said, I got to see his whole come up. And he was the one, like when we was blowing up, like everybody was Mike Jones because he had the catchy phrase and the number. So you would see the celebrities and shit, like I'll be bopping out Mike Jones and saying his name and kicking it with him and doing everything. And then they just flipped on him. Everybody just turned their back on him. Kind of seemed like everything just flipped, and that really showed me the Hollywood crowd. You know, from the labels to the celebrities, all that shit fake, all them fake. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I really realized I ain't want no parts of that world. Because when he was the man, everybody was, oh, Mike Jones. But it was like right after that, everybody cut him out, from the celebrities to the labels. They don't answer calls. No, everybody went bad. You know what I'm saying? So it showed me how fake that world is over there. And I got to learn a valuable lesson off of that. It showed me that, yeah, it wasn't real. So I thank him for, for that lesson.
Yeah, they was on his nuts like crazy when he was hot.
Exactly. So that's he showed me how fake the world could be. Man, but at the end of the day, Mike Jones sold what, 3 million records? Like, I don't know nobody out who did that at the end of the day. And Mike Jones still doing shows, so he still get money. You know what I'm saying? So people hate, but at the end of the day, shit, we dropped Still Tipping. 03, '02, shit. We still doing shows, still getting money to this day. I'm 45 right now. That's crazy. I was 23, 25 when I made that record. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to do that shit for 20 years, it's a blessing. Mike Jones the same way. He always booked doing shows on tour. It's a blessing. Paul Wall is sold the fuck out. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine that. We did this shit 20 years ago and still, you know what I'm saying, tipping. We still tipping. That's crazy. Mm-hmm.
You in Community?
Yeah. Mike Jones was hot. When Mike Jones came out, he was everywhere. And he had it popping. But when they want to put you to the back, people think that you ain't living no more. I'm sure it's people thinking like Mike Jones ain't living. It's a dirty game how they control that shit. You know, when they want you to be seen, all right, we're gonna put you out there. When they want to hide you, we're gonna hide you. And they don't care. Some of them people go into states of depression behind that shit. Literally. Some of them people go in some real states of depression behind, you know, having the light and then they dim your light. They get that feeling of being on Front Street, number one, you know, and then they, all right, we done with you. Stop answering the calls, you know, and some people, they really want to do something to themselves. Straight up. It's wild, you know. But we see Slim Thug still shaking. You know, Slim Thug, he said he always was on his independent shit. Yeah. Slim Thug always was on his independent shit. Getting to it. Yeah, I think independent is definitely the wave. Yeah, independent is the wave. From what I see. Don't nobody control you. Don't nobody control you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You do what you want to do. They make it seem like, you know, it's better for you to be with the label, but the label want to control everything you do. And when they done with you, that's it. Ain't no nothing. You know, they ain't got nothing for you. They don't want to help you. And a lot of them people fall into the state of depression, man. For real. A lot of them fall into a straight state of depression. Yeah. But he said Mike Jones still touring and he's still doing his thing. So that's good that the brother made a mark where he can still run with what he had already came out with. You know, but they'll try to shelf you for sure. They will try to shelf you. And that's a fact. Yeah. Let me see. What's this lady name? Hold up. Smash that like button too, y'all. This ex porn star. Let me see. What's her name? Ex porn star. Devon Michaels. Let me see. Hold up. Let me look her up real quick. Divine Michaels. Ex porn star. Let me see. Hold up. Ex porn star. Former adult actress. Let me see. Yeah, they gave her life too. They gave her life. They said she decapitated the boyfriend. JR Gets Bread was popping. Yeah, you already know. R&B's in the building. You know it. R&B is in the building. Yeah, they said she decapitated the dude though. Snap. Cut my man head off and everything. They convicted her though. Gave her life. Gave her life. Gave her life. Let me see how old is she? How old is she? See how old is she? How old is she? Cause she looked like a little older. Yeah, she look a little older. So they don't say to her date of birth. Yeah, I'm trying to see how old she is. Mm. Yeah, so I'm trying to see how old she is. You know, this was in Vegas too. Yeah, it happened in Vegas. Gruesome detail. Let's see what this detail say. It says some gruesome details. Let me see. Decapitated the father of her children. Now she got kids by this dude too. So now the kids done lost both of the parents. But the kids, they look like older, even though she look a little older. But damn, let's see. Let's see. Hold on.
Gruesome testimony in the case against a former porn star accused of killing the father of her children. Thanks for staying with us at 6. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Brian Loftus. Today, witnesses telling the jury how that man died and what else police found in the suspect's home. 8 News Now investigator David Charnes, the only local TV reporter in court as this murder trial continues.
Prosecutors focusing their questions Friday on how this murder victim died. But attorneys for Devin Michaels question how she alone could have beheaded the father of her children.
Some strange noise.
Okay, was it like a bang?
Mm-hmm. That's all. So something like that.
Witnesses in the murder trial against 47-year-old Devin Michaels included the victim's mother, who found her son decapitated in his bedroom in their Henderson home in August 2023. Yoko Willette telling the jury she saw Michaels and her son, 46-year-old Jonathan Willette, together the night before. Then she woke up in the middle of the night to a loud bang.
Would you agree with me that it would be difficult to effectuate a decapitation?
I don't know. I have never attempted one myself.
The majority of Friday's testimony focusing on how investigators believe Willette died, with the Clark County medical examiner saying it appears someone used at least 2 tools to remove his head.
This may indicate there were previous attempts to use a sharp force injury in this area.
She said there's no evidence someone strangled Willette before his death, but concluded he was dead before whoever killed him decapitated him and poured something on him to burn his skin. Michael's attorney Robert Draskovich attempting to prove there's really no way to know for sure.
This person could have had a pillow placed over his face, correct?
Correct.
And then decapitated, isn't that right?
Correct.
Detectives never found the head, but they did find Willette's things hidden in Michael's bedroom. A crime scene analyst briefly mentioning how she photographed swords in Michael's living room, though police never tested those weapons.
Were they swabbed? Is that what you're asking? No.
This trial is expected to extend into next week with 1 day off because of the Veterans Day holiday, and then the jury will have a lot of evidence and testimony to go through. At the regional...
Hey, yo. She definitely was crazy. Like, damn. She offed the man and then cut his damn head off. Like, you gotta have a serious level of hate for somebody to off them and then cut their head off. Yeah, she had a whole nother level of hate for dude. That was a whole nother level of hate. God damn. That shit wow. That shit wow. She was a porn star too. Well, ex-porn star. And you gotta have some real like mental issues. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some mental issues. And now she gonna spend the rest of her life in jail thinking about this every single day. Every day you gotta think about the dumb shit you did. Yeah. That shit don't even add up. Yeah. That shit don't add up. Yeah. then she gonna want somebody to, be there for her. Crazy. Let's see. Battle between good and evil, ex-wife of DMX on a marriage struggle. Let's see what they said about X. DMX ex-wife. Let's see what DMX ex-wife said. Hold up. You know, let's see what she said.
11 years old, we made childhood sweethearts. That would lead to 10 years of dating and Tashira Drawn marrying. 11 years old, we made childhood sweethearts. That would lead to 10 years of dating and Tashira Drawn marrying Earl Simmons, who would later gain fame as rapper DMX. During a recent conversation, Tashira shared about her marriage to the hip-hop legend. This was always his dream. He knew that he was gifted with this talent, which I didn't really see it for what it was until it actually really happened. But he said, this is how we gonna make it out, the hood. Tashira recalls how married life started off easy, then turned into a nightmare after her husband's meteoric rise in the music world. In an industry where it is the devil's playground, where there is morals and values out the window, I watched my best friend gain the world and lose his soul. DMX struggled with drug addiction, which led to legal battles and multiple stints behind bars. Later in his career, the Grammy-nominated rapper turned to faith, often incorporating his love for God into his lyrics. During the COVID pandemic, DMX used social media to lead thousands in a Bible study and pray for salvation. Dear Lord Jesus, I realize I'm a sinner. I repent for my sins. And right this moment, I receive you as my Lord and Savior. Tashira told CBN News how she recalled seeing that faith in her husband earlier in their marriage. He's the one who introduced me to Christ. He knew he was being used for Christ, but I saw the constant fight. He was battling. He was battling between good and evil. Evil that included the pain of marital infidelity and abuse. I lost myself. I lost my soul in that marriage. If it wasn't for my oldest son, saying that one day he said, if the next time I see my father and hear him abusing you verbally, I'm going to kill him. Those words from 14-year-old Xavier served as a wake-up call to take her family and leave. I saw the look in his eyes and I realized that if you're not going to do it for yourself, Tashira, you have to do it for your children. So that's where my strength came from. In 2005, while separated, Tashira, who grew up a Muslim, says she experienced a spiritual encounter that set her on a new path. I didn't know Jesus the way I should have. So I was in the closets. Things were getting really bad. It was going really left. And I cried the hardest cry. I mean, it was from my soul. It was from my spirit. I did not know what else to do. I felt a warmth and a peace that I've never, ever experienced before. And at the time, it was scary, but when I had to replay it, It was Jesus, because I was crying out, if you were real, you would come see me, you would show me your love. This is not what you say you're about. And that's what I was saying in that moment. And then he came. It is just one of many experiences she shares in her latest book, Dying to Self, which outlines her transformative journey. The industry that I was birthed in is the devil's playground. And there's so many women and men out there that they think they know, but they have no idea. And I felt like it was time. I owned it to Jesus. Yes. To let the world know that had it not been for him on my side, I don't know where I would be. In 2014, Tashira and Earl divorced. On April 9th, 2021, at the age of 50, DMX died after suffering a heart attack. At his funeral, Tashira shared about the love God had for Earl and his sincere desire to serve Christ. Jesus stood and shouted to the crowds, anyone who is thirsty may come to me. Anyone who believes in me may come and drink. For the scriptures declare rivers of living water will flow from his heart. Earl was thirsty. He never stopped hungering for God's word. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. How full and profound is that? Today, Tashira is on a mission to share the healing and hope she has found in Christ. I'm trying not to get emotional, but there is no love like Jesus Christ's love. I mean, that's the only way I could really fully say it, because I didn't know what love was until I found his love, his unconditional love. The love that when I mess up, when I make mistakes, when I get distracted, he's still sitting there. And love that has made a strong impact on her children, as her youngest son, Sean, recently committed his life to follow Christ. He's my everything. He saved my family, my everything. He saved everything, my life. Thank you, Jesus. Our godly Father has picked them up and turned their lives around. And they don't have depression anymore. They don't cut anymore. They don't feel abandoned anymore. Wow. Because of the love of Jesus Christ. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
Okay. So DMX was definitely a great artist. He used to go in, made fire music, fire. But also, right, DMX was battling addiction. And I gotta be real. People that battle addiction, they looking for hope. They might even want to get away from the addiction, but they like the high, the chemicals that's in the drugs. They are designed to mess with our mind. That is what the design of the chemical. And everybody has to understand that. Any drug out here, if you begin to take it, it's designed for you to like it and become addicted to it. This is the chemical makeup of the drug. DMX was hooked on drugs, man. You know, a lot of people are looking for hope. A lot of people. You know, majority of the world won't ever have any clarity about anything before they leave this earth. Majority. It's a lot of people that's going to be hoping, praying, and wishing to have some type of understanding their whole existence on this earth. A lot of people. This is life, man. And DMX never found it. Never. He never found it. He was talented. Very, very, very talented. He can get in there and make music. But he got caught up in his addiction. He got caught up in that game of getting high. It's a lot of people that was talented in their life and got caught up in getting high. That era, DMX came from the era where it was okay to get high when you was young with those crazy type of drugs. Niggas was sniffing powder and shit like that. He come from that era, you know, when it was cool, you know. So he got caught up in the street and he really didn't understand who he was, but he thought his purpose was to talk about the Lord. And he never found out who he was. Man, you got to find out who you are. It's cool to have hope. It's cool to pray, you know. That keep a lot of people grounded, you know, because there's a lot of people that's real confused. So it's cool to have hope and pray to keep you grounded, but you have to find out exactly who you are so that you can stabilize your mind. And a lot of people ain't gonna never find out who they are, man. Never. They gonna live this existence of their life and never find out who they are. And they gonna pass away hoping. No clarity, no understanding. They just out here living. You know, they created the design of life for us to keep chasing nothing. It's created for us to keep chasing nothing. Nothing. You can't take nothing with you, but you chasing everything here. You live and then you go with nothing while the entire existence you trying to find your way. Straight up. It's crazy though, man. Some people got to understand, right? You got to clear all the way up. You can't take nothing. Nothing. Detox your whole entire body. Can't take nothing. No alcohol, no smoking, no wine, no nothing. You know one thing people do that want to, you know, do something to alter their mind, they make an excuse why that thing that they're doing to alter their mind is okay. Wine, alcohol, stuff like that, they make an excuse. Oh, it's just a little wine. So you mean to tell me that because they're telling you that the wine is okay, that you believe that it's okay? It's a lot of people that don't understand that. You know, it's a lot of people that do not understand that because they're telling you that it's cool to drink wine. You think it's cool. It's like the people smoking the bud now. They got it in the dispensary. They telling you that it's cool to smoke the bud. Now people are trying to teach other people a lie. The excuse why they smoke bud. Yeah, it's okay to smoke it. Yeah, it's good for you. But in all actuality, if smoking destroys your lungs, right? Why would it be good for you in any way, shape, or form? If we just being realistic. Smoking destroys your lungs all the way. Any smoking. Any smoke going into your lungs harms your internal organs. But they telling us that it's cool for us to smoke it. Yeah, it can help you. No, see, They tell us certain things that suppress certain feelings that are reality is okay. Alcohol and bud suppress your feelings from reality. You going through something, go take a drink. You going through something, smoke something. It's a lot of people that don't want to deal with the reality. It's a lot of people searching for hope everywhere. You know, it's people that go every week and search for hope. You know, my great grandma, she passed away at like 89, something like that. That was my baby. You hear me? That was my baby. I lived with her when I was like 4, you know, and she looked out for me. And when I got in trouble, she always said that I was gonna make it. She was like, he gonna be all right. I'm telling y'all, him right here, he gonna be all right. Straight up. When I used to get in trouble as a youngin', you know, because I was always wanting to do what I wanted to do on my own. You know, I always wanted to form my own hustle. If it was shoveling snow, cutting grass, you know, selling gum, candy, whatever. I always wanted to form my own hustle. And when I was getting in trouble, she used to always be like, he gonna be all right. But she was living with hope as well, right? Because she used to always say, Jesus is coming back. And, you know, as I got older, and, you know, you hear that from multiple older people, you know, people don't say that as much now, but there's some people that still say it, but people don't say it as much now. But I would say to myself, like, okay, when is he coming back? She lived her entire existence on this earth, 89 years, and he never came back, you know? And then you got some other people that said it, that he's coming back, and you never see him come back. It's a lot of things in life that, you know, we look at, that we believe in, that are not always real. It's like, it's for us to keep us grounded. It's for us to keep us hoping. And it's for the world to keep structure. And I'm sure that some people might not understand that, because some people might, you know, look at things a certain way. But a lot of these things, right, are for us to keep us grounded and to keep us, you know, with some hope to go forward as we live. But a lot of these things aren't as real. You know right from wrong, right? Everybody knows right from wrong. You know, if you go out here and do something wrong, you got to suffer a consequence. You might get away with it, or it might come back later. But you do know, if you go out here and do something wrong, you're going to suffer a consequence. But it's some people in life that think that they can do wrong, and all they got to do is say, God, forgive me, and they going to be okay. I really don't think that's true. Your time is going to come, because a lot of people weaponize that, you know, from what I see. So a lot of people in life, they weaponize that. You know, they be out here doing hella wrong stuff, and they might get away with stuff for a while, but then when something come back to them, they don't say God has something to do with that. They don't keep it real with themselves. You know, I'm living in reality. You know, y'all know I be on here playing sometimes. I be on here talking about whack, you know, and I understand, you know, some things I gotta say to, you know, be in the algorithm, but I'm a smart individual, right? Very, very smart individual, right? And I have like a very strong understanding about life. And it's a lot of people that don't have that understanding. And I'm not knocking nobody for not having the understanding and not being able to see the things that I see, but it's a lot of people that are gonna live this entire existence of their life confused because they really don't understand. And no matter what anybody tells them, they still not gonna understand. It's because they're gonna go with what somebody, you know, might have told them when they was younger. You know, whatever you believe is your reality. But what I do know with us as people, right? It's a lot of people that believe something that they can't see. It's like, you know, you can't lie to yourself about reality. You feel what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that do it. Be honest with yourself about reality. You know, and I know some people they looking for hope so that it can stabilize them. They trying to cope with life because life is hard. Real shit. Life is hard. It's hard. You're dealing with other people's personalities, people involved in your life that might be weighing on your life, you know. So it's hard. But understanding that you got to pay attention to what you see. Understanding what's real, what's not real, you know. You go outside and do something wrong, you're going to suffer consequence. You stay away from the BS, you're going to avoid that. Now, things is going to happen throughout the existence of your life. This is life. Life without problems does not exist. There's always going to be problems in your life. They might be small, they might be big, but they're always going to exist. This is life. You know, it's about having a conscious mind too, understanding, you know, taking that time to think, you know, think before you react, think before you talk, think is major. It's a lot of individuals that don't be thinking. They just be out here winging it. You know, they don't know themselves, man. You know, uh, I think like we've been taught to live a certain way, and the way that we've been taught to live, it really doesn't work. So you gotta find what works for your life. You know, if you go with the way they taught us, your life is going to be all over the place. And I'm seeing this. You know, I'm glad I come to understanding it. You know, I got a lot of love for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I come to understand that dealing with everybody, no matter if they related to me or not, doesn't make me complete. It doesn't make me whole. It doesn't help me able to cope with the life. But some people think that, you know, because of the way other people may judge you is how you supposed to live your life. And I really think that is affecting a lot of people. in life. It affects a lot of people because you're worried about somebody else judging you and you're saying, well, I got to do this because I'm this, or I got to be a great person because it is. And you think that that's the proper way to live because this is what the world says. Now you got to fill your life out. And whatever makes you happy, that's what you got to do. Whatever it is. It ain't about the next person and how the next person's operating, what the next person's doing with this person. No, it's all about whatever you, because your life is your life. Your life is going to be different from everybody. Every single individual on this earth is living their own life. Nobody's life is the same. Nobody's life is the same. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. You know, they think that the standards that is set, that whoever set these standards is how you're supposed to live. And I really think that's incorrect. You know, man, at this point in my life, I gotta be real, right? And I done dealt with a lot of paper in my life. And I don't got as much paper as I've had in my life, right? But this is the happiest I ever been personally. And it's not, you know, having people in my life. It's not doing what the world expects of me. It's not making other people happy. It's doing what I want to do. Straight up. And this is a fact. It's doing everything I want to do, no matter who says what about me, no matter what is expected of me. It's about what I want to do. This is why I'm happy. I wasn't happy when I was doing what was expected of me, right? Straight up. Now, I was running around at one point, right? I'm buying houses. You know, I got companies. I'm running around chasing, getting to it, paper, you know, but I wasn't happy. It was too much problems here, too much problems there, this going on there. And I wasn't happy. I was frustrated, you know, and I can say now, right, that I was chasing what the design that they say we supposed to do, and I was putting that work in to do it by all means necessary. But I was taking my frustration out on people around me. Yeah. And I noticed, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You know, I'm feeling like, all right, well, that's straight, ain't it? Ain't nobody got to worry about that. You got this, you got that, you got that. But I'm frustrated at the same time because I got to go handle business and it's always something. It ain't never right. That's because of the design. That's because how life is designed. It ain't going to never be perfect. And the more you accumulate, the more problems you're going to have. The more you go chase, the more problems you're going to have. Now I'm at the point, being honest, to make sure everything is stable. You hear me? That's the point I'm at. You know, I don't even like yearn the same things that I used to yearn, like real stuff. You know, just like everything in my life, you know, being honest has changed. Like, and I'm being honest with y'all right now, right? Like, I used to chase money. I used to chase sex. I used to just go hard. And I used to go hard, like hard. And like, I don't got the same desire that I used to have. I just want peace and be able to do what I want to do. That's it. You hear me? That's all I want is peace and to be able to do what I want to do. If anything is affecting my peace, you can't be around me. And I don't want to talk to you. I don't care how I know you. I don't care how I'm related to you. I don't care what they say I'm obligated to do. I don't care about none of that. I care about my peace. Because I know if my peace ain't right, I'm not functioning right. But for years, I didn't have peace, but I'm still trying to function. I'm still trying to handle business. I'm still running the streets. And it was a point in time, right, where I was heavy in the streets. You hear me? Nigga DEEZY had it. These niggas wasn't fucking with me. You hear me? And I didn't have peace. You hear me? I could pull up in that shit, paper up, niggas waiting on me because they know I fucking got it. But I didn't have no peace. That shit was like an image to other people when they see me, like, they know, okay, yeah, DEEZY got it. Motherfucker know. And I wasn't fucking with everybody. Everybody couldn't deal with me. It was like I'm different with it. But I didn't have no peace. And then I look back on that shit like, okay, yeah. You know, I had some fun times. I did a lot of things. And then I look forward now. I got peace. I've been delivered from the street. I'll never, ever, ever mess with the streets, right? And I got my peace. And I'm doing things that I want to do. And I ain't got to worry about putting myself in a situation to go commit a crime. You know, if something happened that I'm unaware of, I got to deal with it then. You know what I'm saying? But it was a point in time where I'm out here chasing, running around the street, and I'm dodging the law. I'm running around here ducking the police, ducking the feds. I'm around here looking out my windows, peeking. Every time I look out the window, I think the feds down the street. Every car I see, I'm thinking the feds is coming. Man, I don't got that feeling now. Hell no. I literally, right, rode around for 3 months with my registration out, not caring at all. I ain't get stopped not one time. I didn't register my car for 3 months. Now, I had insurance on the car, but I just didn't go through an inspection and re-register the car, right? And didn't even care because I knew I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I'm like, okay. But if I was running around the street like that, right, I would have been stopped. I would have been done got locked up. It would have been something. But being as though that I'm living right, it's certain things that, you know, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like, all right, I'll get there and do the registration when I do it. And I did it though, right? But I know I ain't smoking no bud. I know I ain't drinking. What's the most they can do to me for not registering the car? A ticket? They can't even take the car because I got insurance, right? So it's like a lot of these things in life, you know, that we be looking at, that they be telling us that we should do, that shit don't make you happy, man. You gotta do what makes you happy. Straight up. You literally gotta do what makes you happy. Straight up. It ain't about what other people think. If you live like that, you will live your entire existence of life confused. Because we can't take nothing with us. Don't nobody want to come with you when you go, right? And when you get old, they're gonna put you in a nursing home. You hear me? You get a select few of people that won't, but majority of the people, they're gonna put you in a damn nursing home, especially when you get to that point. You know, some people might deal with you for a while, but majority of the people, they're gonna put you in a nursing home, man. You know what I mean? And it's so like crazy that we really don't think about the reality when we running around. Everybody wanna, you know, take their mind off of reality. You know, I can get on here and talk about anything in the algorithm all the time. You know, I got that down pat. You know what I'm saying? But do you know yourself? Do you have clarity on who you are? Do you really understand what makes you happy and what doesn't? Come on now. I think everybody, you know, have to take a look at that in themselves because that's what it's about. You know, people say, oh, it's about this. You got to take care of this, about this responsibility. No, it's not. No, it's not because we are all human beings, right? When you develop your own mind, you don't care what nobody say. This is what a lot of people don't understand. When you develop your own mind, you don't care about what your mom say. You don't care about what your dad say. You don't care about what your grandma, your grandpa, none of that. Once you develop your own mind, you don't care about what nobody says. And these are the things that people don't think about until they're dealing with it. Straight up. When they're dealing with it, that's when they think about it. Now they want to, okay. But in all reality, this is how life go. Straight up. You don't think about it until it's in your face. You know, you can be there for whoever, but when they develop their own mind, they're going to think how they want to think. They're going to do what they want to do. This is just real. And I see with life, man, you know, we be going through life and we don't think about the real. We be lying to ourselves, you know, until we get to understand. And some people will never understand. We be lying to ourselves. Straight up, just straight lying to yourself. Yeah, it's crazy though. But that clarity, you got to sit to yourself sometime and really analyze some of the things you've been through. And when you sit to yourself and really analyze some of them things you've been through, you'll see like, okay, I understand. But some things you think you understand that you've been through, you haven't really analyzed it. So you just put it in the back. Yeah, I had a time, I've been through that. But go back and analyze it and see how it all played out and what was the outcome. And you can sit back and think about it like, okay, damn, I do see that a little different now. Straight up, you know, just keeping it a buck, man. If you haven't already, smash the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, you know, and I appreciate all of y'all that rock with SBGB TV, man. Big facts. Yeah, man. And you know, sometimes You know, I gotta have those real conversations. Yeah, sometimes I gotta have them, man. Big facts. I know, real recognize real. You know, and I'm sure that you know, it's some people that might be dealing with some different things in their life, and then I might say some things, and it might, you know, give them something to think about. You know, it ain't got to be, oh, I told you to do this. No, it's just some things that I said gave you something to think about. You know, because I got like real life experiences, right? And I understand. I think so much clearer, you know, in my own zone by myself. When you got a lot of people around you, you can't think properly because you're dealing with other people's lives and personalities, and they right there and they saying this and they saying that. It messes with your ability to really process because you're thinking about how you can do this or what you need to do here, how you can help this. And, you know, so you don't get to have that time to really sit there and think, you know, and I can see, you know, by me uh understanding this stuff, you know, I got a lot of clarity, man. And I know, you know, we gonna keep pushing. I know over time, you know, we this is the bottom stages of this shit. So you rocking with me, I appreciate you. But you see how, you know, my intellect and my dialogue is different. I can come on here and know how to get into the algorithm and, you know what I'm saying, and talk what people want to hear, right? But trust and believe be. When I get to the point where as though I can start saying the real shit, I'ma say it. You know, right now, you know, I'm not as big as I need to be to deliver the message, you know, because if I start trying to deliver the message, they not gonna push the message. You get what I'm saying? So I gotta get bigger to deliver the message. So then once I get bigger, I can start saying certain things from my experiences, right? And then it's gonna travel different. Yeah. So we working, and I got a lot of understanding. You know, I got a lot of understanding, and I appreciate all y'all that be rocking with me, you know, and became a member that subscribe to the channel, you know, and that watches the channel. You know what I mean? I appreciate you. You know, I know damn well that I'm gifted, you know, and it's all the experiences that I've been through in my life that give me a total different clarity. Like, I had so many experiences that the shit that people pull on the people on the internet, they can't do it with me. There is nobody, even though that I'm fresh in the YouTube game, even though, you know, when I start and I get this music done and I get in the music game, it's like that shit don't work with me. Cause I'm always thinking it's a reason, you know, and everybody got to understand that, right? When people deal with you, it's a reason. You deal with other people, it's a reason. This is just how life is. It's always a reason. It ain't just, oh, no, it's a reason. It's something that brings you in that direction. You know what I mean? Straight up. But you know, I appreciate all of y'all, man. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, man. Smash that like button. Y'all know we coming back for the late night show. We're gonna come back in like an hour. You know, we're gonna be in the studio with it. We come back in like an hour. We're going all the way in. Y'all know how we do. We're gonna go in on Wack. You know it, his lies. You know, Wack still talking about the diaper company doing good. That's what he's saying. Hey, Wack, show us some tax returns, nigga. Show us a tax return on the diapers. Yeah. Show us a tax return on the diapers. We know damn well you're lying. Stop, man. Stop. You better stop before I get the damn tax return. You better chill out. Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, okay, Mel G. That's all it is, bro. Call it in the night. That's what it is. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? A real rap. I see you. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. All that, man. All that, man. Shout out to all y'all, man. Yeah, shout out to all y'all, man. Yeah. Yeah. He's still playing that game with the diapers. Combos like this is exactly why I always hung around older people and why I always was advanced. I listen. Yeah, damn right. You know, you can definitely get knowledge from other people. You just gotta take out what's for you. Oh, can't take everything, you know what I'm saying? What's for you, because everything somebody else do is not gonna fit you. So you gotta take out what's for you, you know? And that's how I always do. You know, I do this with this right here. You know what I mean? Like I take out what's for me from different things that I pay attention to, and then I incorporate them. And you know, this is what I'm doing with the channel, right? Trust me, I already know we gonna be heavy. I said it's gonna take about like 24 months. It's gonna take like 24 months of consistency, you know, to take that turn, right? It's gonna take like 24 months. You know what I mean? So we almost coming up on a year. I say this year, right? Because I done found how I'm putting the pressure in this shit, right? And I'm going to turn it up. I'm telling everybody this now. And you know, I always said this, right? I'm good at observing. I don't have to talk to nobody. You hear me? You know how some niggas they be like, you know, like when I had the car dealership, niggas would come up there, yo, I gotta come up here and pick your brain. I hate when people say that. Like that's one thing I always hate. I don't like niggas that say that kind of shit. Nigga, just pay attention to what I'm doing and you figure it out. Come and pick my brain. I want to sit down and really talk to you and like detail what I'm doing to you. No, I don't want to do that. I want to say what I want to say and you just pick it out and you take it like that. Cause then you be sitting there like I'm in interrogation room. I don't like that, right? So when niggas just say that, I be like, man, I ain't with all that, bro. Y'all want to sit down and pick your brain. Man, you don't get away from me. Where the fuck did that come from? Who started saying that shit, right? So with me, right, I'm good at watching. And I said this before. I'm very, very good at like watching. And I don't gotta talk to you at all. I don't need to talk to you at all. If I see something that I can incorporate in what I'm trying to do, I don't need to speak to you to do that. I'm just looking. And I'm gonna go out there and try, you know, and figure it out. I'm gonna jump out there. This is my style. Go ahead, I'm gonna jump straight out there. Cause I feel like, you know, I learn better that way. Even though, you know, you might want somebody to tell you a mistake or two, nah, stay away from that, you know, but you can watch something and see what not to do. You know, sometimes you got to give it a light test run, you know, but by me watching, it like, that's what make me so vicious with shit. And trust and believe, I'm watching, right? Oh, I'm watching and I see some shit and I see some shit. I'm like, okay, this is what's going on, right? Okay, I got it. So by me watching is definitely teaching me. And like I told y'all, yeah, I started with whack. Yeah, but you know, I'm bigger than whack. You hear me? I'm way bigger than whack because I'm structured and I'm about business and I'm about creating business. I've never been the individual that leeches off other people's business. You know, nah. I I start my own corporations. I start my own businesses, my companies. I've had several businesses, right? So by me starting off, you know, exposing whack, that there was the start. Me putting it out there about what they did at No Jumper, that's the start. You know, the people that's gonna rock with me because they rock with me. And I know some people, you know, like the way I go in on whack and break them down. But we gonna be going on everything. Damn right we are. You know, and I gotta build that up. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got it, you know, building up about whack, but now I gotta start building it up about everything. I gotta just build it up. And I know over time it's coming. Yeah, I can smell it. Like I can smell it. Like, you know, like even when I was out there in the streets and shit, I could smell when I would like reach different levels. I'm like, yo, I can smell this shit. Because of the grind, because of my hustle. And I can smell this shit. Like I can smell this shit. But the thing about DEEZY is, right? I ain't gonna be like none of these jokers that's, you know, trying to build, you know, circles to mislead people. I ain't with that. I don't want that kind of shit around me. So that ain't my angle of doing this shit. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you got these certain podcasters and shit, you know, YouTubers that, you know, they building, you know, circles to lie to each other, to lie to people. They just want to manipulate the people. I ain't with that. I don't want that around me. So y'all see that I'm on my own mission because I ain't with that at all. That shit is corny as ever to me. And I don't care about the money that much because I know I'm going to make money. I know my style, my hustle, I'm always going to make money. But some of these niggas, they care about the money. That's like, yo, I got to do this because I need it. Nigga, I'm going to kick a door in. I always kick them in. I always done it. I always know how to find my own plug. Everybody, it'll be right. So, you know, I'm the type of nigga like this, right? It'll be a nigga that, you know, might come around, right? And they got to work, right? And I'm saying they might got it. Like, got it. And niggas are here like, yo, this motherfucker got to work, right? And everybody will try to link in with this individual, right? Anytime I ever seen that type of shit, I never wanted to deal with that motherfucker. Never. Because I always knew that the Rico is coming. This how my mind state. This how I think. When I knew that everybody knew that this nigga got to work, right? And everybody want to flock to this nigga, and everybody like, yo, he got it, I got it. I don't want it. I don't want that. Because I know a Rico coming. I'ma go find my own look. You hear me? I'ma find my own look. And I ain't telling none of you niggas. Because I want my look to be over here. So if I have a situation, I'm not in that circle. Straight up. I'm not in that circle. And this is how I always thought. And I really think, that mind frame has always made me stand out aside from the in crowd. I've never been an in crowd individual. I ain't no in crowd at all. Nah. Yeah. I'm going to pull up talking that shit. I'm going to pull up in my zone. But I ain't no in crowd person. Negative. Y'all got that shit. You hear me? Y'all got that shit. But yeah, man, we gonna be back in an hour. Smash that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. It's your boy DEEZY, man. If you're a member of the channel, put a 1 in the chat so we can shout you out. And shout out to all y'all. Straight up. Shout out to all y'all that rock with SBGB TV, man. DEEZY appreciate y'all, man. And we growing. We definitely growing. Coming from the bottom. Coming from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? C. Brown. I see you, Blue Chicken. JR gets bread. Mel G. Too's Much. Jan Meeks. Yeah. Man, I appreciate all y'all, man. And we coming back on the late night WAB phone. And we gonna go in. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go in. Y'all know how we do, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be back. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Y'all already know what it is. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Nah.